Welcome to Backwoods Adventures. Backwoods Adventures is brought to you by the Sports Connection, Tri-County Waste, H&H Sign Supply, and Wright's Taxidermy.
Well, folks, this is Troy Black, and we are in the last weekend of the Kentucky archery season. I'm headed out to get back in the muddy setup this afternoon. Got some daytime pictures there of some bucks and does both coming in. So we're going to get back there this afternoon and see what happens. So stick with us while we get ready to get back out there, right here on Backwoods Adventures.
I'm from overseas, but it's right here, so please. We war not against flesh and blood.
I just put a shellwhacker in a small buck. I shot all the way through him, but the arrow didn't pass completely through him. Don't really know what happened there, but I seen him go over here. He stopped. He's ran off down in here. Heard him go back. I don't know whether he's went down or not. We've got a text message in right now to one of our BWA crew members, Jai Utley, see if he'll come here and help me locate this deer. So stick with us. Hopefully we've got some meat on the ground finally this year at the end of the year. And I think we got it for you on film. So stick with us right here on Backwoods Adventures.
It's the unholy flood, open your eyes. Can't you see what's going on?
Two good friends out here tracking the deer I shot, and we got blood coming out both sides, arrow sticking out of him. Haven't found the arrow yet, found the broadhead, but not the arrow. And they're headed off down a little deeper in the hollow looking for him. So hopefully they'll say they found him here in a minute. My back's made me sit down for a few minutes, so hang in there. I'll tell you folks, there's a lot of deer tracks out here in this corn. As you can see, they've been eating the tops out of it and everything. Real dry year. Pond over here is pretty dry. One of the things I do when I'm deer scouting is I like to treat it just like I'm hunting. I take the scent away, I take it, spray it all down, spray myself good, whether I'm wearing whatever I'm wearing, and just get it all over me. But the other thing I like to do is I like to take the Conquest Scents Evercalm deer scent. I take it, I put it on my shoes and my pants, I just put it directly on them, just like that. And I put it on the bottom of my shoes, on the side of my shoes. They do make the scent things that go on your shoes, but I prefer to use this. I use it scouting, I use it hunting. They've got the VS1 buckler and the rutting buck. Great scents made by a great company, a good Christian company. So check out conquestscents.com and get your Evercalm today. Back in the muddy setup again. I was here the other afternoon, shot a young buck. Followed a blood trail for probably a couple hundred yards, and we didn't retrieve the deer. Come back the next day, drove, walked, looked, a little bit of everything, couldn't find it. But anyway, I'm out here today. I got all my God's country
snow camo. You can tell it or not, but this has got a little lighter background. Deer have been in here cleaning up the corn. I forgot to bring any back in here with me this afternoon, so I got to bring it back tomorrow unless I shoot one this afternoon, which I'll still bring some back tomorrow. I'll probably feed them through the winter. But we've had a little snow. It's snowing a little bit now, flurrying a little bit. It's Friday the 13th. We're on the Muddy setup in the God's Country camo with the Believer bow and Storm and Norman calls and our Conquest scents all over us. So we're going to sit here till dark and see what happens. So stick with us right here on Backwoods Adventures.
Right. Can't you see what's wrong? They've taken prayer from our schools, want us to be the devil's schools. A gun is not the way to win. You've got to pray and pray again. We war not against flesh and blood. We battle daily against an unholy flood. Open your eyes.
Well, folks, I just had 2 bucks come in. I had the little 3-point, and I think the double brow, and I kept working the can call and got double brow up here, and I just took about a 20-yard shot on him. Pretty sure I connected. I think I passed through the last place I seen him. He was just kind of twitching his tail and walking. I hope that he's not going to be laying far from there. I hope I'm not going to have another night like I did the other night. So we're going to give it about 30 minutes and we'll get down and go see what happened. Stick with us right here on Backwoods Adventures.
Folks, this is Troy Black for Backwoods Adventures, and I've got the fever for deer season. It's only just a little over a month away right here in western Kentucky, and I have got the fever. We've been out this morning, seen deer all over the place. It's on their feet good, and I can't wait to get out there with the new Believer again this year. And well, it's not new this year; it's a year old. But get out there with it and see if I can't let the air out of another one. You know, last year while I was out, I managed to bag this little 12-pointer right here. The only 12-pointer I've ever bagged. I know he's small, but he was a trophy to me, and I shot him and let the air out of him with a Shawhacker broadhead, and I used my Conquest scents and everything to cover me up. But one of the big keys to my success that day was this right here, and it was one of these Storm and Norman custom deer bleed cans. And I tell you what, it worked great. All I done is gave a few of these, and I called in 2 bucks that day. They come up, offered me a 20-yard shot. I let the air out of this one. I tell you what, that was late season. There was 3 days of season left when I shot that one. Well, let me tell you, this can call, I've seen it work in the first part of the season, like in September. I've seen it work in the middle of the season. I've seen it work in the late season. I've seen it work all the way through the whole 3.5 months that deer season's in. I've seen it work in Kentucky, Illinois, other places that we have been, and people have used it and stuff. I've seen it work. The can call, it can be the most important call that you put in your hunting backpack. I tell you what, check out Storm and Norman calls and give him a call at 618-292-6256 and order your can call today.
With Pastor Troy. 3 days left before season is over.
Friday the 13th, by the way.
Friday the 13th, and we've been on a blood trail for a little bit. He called me on my way home from work and said he'd shot a buck, and our brother Richard was here with him, and he asked if I'd come on out and picked up the blood trail, and we're going to continue on from here.
All right. Well, I'm going to see if I can make my way through here. Haven't got the best of light for them. I know I saw antlers there up there. Well, it's not the double brow. Boy, he's got some freaky looking characters.
Look at that character on that deer.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 pointer.
Small 12. And look at that shot. Look there.
Let's see what that
That's the exit.
Swacker.
That's the exit.
Awesome. Good shot,
So
brother.
there's nothing wrong with my aim.
No.
Oh. Thank you, Jesus.
Man, look at that deer. That's a fine animal.
Oh. Well, folks, I'll tell you this. It's not the biggest deer that I've ever shot by no means. I guess I could stick it way out there. But it's the first one I've shot with that Believer bow. It's the first one I've shot with a Shawhacker. And like I said, I thought maybe something was wrong with my aim, but we started finding good blood here at the last, and it done its job. Small deer, got a lot of character, got 12 points. That's the most points I've ever had on one. But anyway, I'm really tickled with it, really proud of it. Prayed this morning before I got in the stand, or this afternoon, just asked God to bless me with what He's seen fit. And this is what He gave me. I had it, little 3-pointer come in, and I've got the footage for you. You'll see it all on Backwoods Adventures. Folks, this is Troy Black with you for Backwoods Adventures, and we're out here on this hot August 1st day, out here checking trail cameras and putting a little corn out. And I've been thinking about last deer season. Same farm that I hunted, same farm that I harvested the deer you just seen on the video. And I get to thinking about something. Back in 2002, I broke my back. And when I broke my back, it was in 2003, I went through 11.5 hours of surgery and about a year of rehabilitation. And during that time, I was being told things like I may never get to hunt again, especially bow hunt. And this past year, I had a desire within me that was rekindled. God supplied a bow for me to shoot. He supplied a stand that I could get up in and be comfortable through muddy products, muddy outdoors. The concept bow that I could shoot and hold and do right with, and all sorts of good scents and camouflage, conquest scents, God's Country camo, all these things to help me be a better hunter, and all of it has helped revise my desire to deer hunt with my bow, and even supplied me with a call company, Storm & Norman Calls, to help me out there. But you know, I was told that I would never do these things again. But you know, we're told in the Bible that we can do all things through Christ. And you know, that's one of the things that happened. I started leaning more on Jesus, depending more on Christ, and He started supplying a way for me to get out and do the things I enjoy. You know, we're also, as parents, we're not going to give our kids bad gifts. Am I right? You know, I'm not mine. And, you know, God don't like to give us bad things either. You know, He wants to give us things that our heart desires. And the Bible also tells us that if we'll delight ourselves in Him, that He'll grant us the desires of our heart. Last year, God kept His promise. He knew what the desires of my heart was, and He supplied me with a deer with my bow. First one I've killed, first buck I've killed with my bow in 10 years. And, you know, just couldn't believe it. And only the second deer I've killed with my bow in 10 years since I got hurt. But, you know, God took care of me. And this year He's even supplied me with a machine to help me get in and out of the woods. Now, it's not out here for me to drive and tear up the farmer's property and, you know, do all sorts of things I shouldn't do. But God has supplied it as a way for me to get in and out of the woods, to hunt a little further back like I like to hunt. And, you know, I'm grateful for that. So, you know, you may be handicapped, you may be disabled, you may have some problems that maybe I know nothing about, but, you know, my God can do anything. And my Bible tells me that we can do all things through Him who gives us strength, which is Christ Jesus. So, you know, don't let your situation dictate what you do. Dictate what you do with your situation. God bless you until next time. This is Troy Black with Backwoods Adventures.